The chime of the bell beckons us into a sacred time. Welcome to the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Houston, where we widen love's circle by honoring the inherent worth and dignity of all. We extend a heartfelt and inclusive invitation to join us in meaningful worship and in service to the world. This morning, we thank Connie Acosta for stepping in as worship associate this morning. Buenos días y bienvenidos a esta comunidad donde ampliamos el círculo del amor, honrando el valor y la dignidad inherentes de todos. We greet all those who join us this morning. We have people watching the live stream from many cities, and we hope that they will fill out the online attendance form and view upcoming events on our website calendar. We ask those here in person to take a moment after the service to seek out someone that you don't yet know and introduce yourself. Now, please join Savannah Cathcart and the Sanctuary Choir for our first hymn.
Please rise and embody your spirits and join in singing hymn 188 in your gray hymnal, Come, Come, Whoever You Are. This is traditionally sung in a round, but for our purposes, we're just going to sing it 3 times through.
Good morning. Come now, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lovers of leaving, joyful one, grieving one, one with many questions, tired one, hopeful one, one awaiting answers, worried one, weary one, beloved child of God, neurodivergent one, sleepy one, wiggly one, you with unmet needs, you with much to give. This is no caravan of despair. Come, let us worship.
Celebremos compartiendo nuestras vidas, encendiendo esta luz.
Guess I better shut this off. Good morning, everyone. I am so glad to see you all here. All right, join with me in reading the Congregational Covenant. It's listed in your order of service. Ready? Love is the spirit of our congregation. Service is our prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek truth in love, and to encourage one another. Thus do we covenant.
Today is the first day of a ritual that we have every holiday season. Today is the first Sunday of Advent and also World AIDS Day. We light an Advent wreath today for the first time to mark both the days approaching the solstice and the advent of Christmas. Inspired by the neo-pagan tradition, this first Sunday of Advent, we light a candle in the south, honoring the element of fire. Fire burns away the old and creates space for the new. Inspired by the Christian tradition, the first candle is lit to symbolize the expectation of hope. We hear the words of Desmond Tutu. Hope is being able to see that there is light despite all this darkness. On this first Sunday of Advent, we set this first candle ablaze with the element of fire to burn through the darkness and bring us hope. Blessed be. World AIDS Day, commemorated each year on December 1st, is a global movement to unite people in the fight against HIV and AIDS. Since 1988, communities have stood together on World AIDS Day to show strength and solidarity against HIV stigma and to remember all the lives lost. In 2025, a historic funding crisis threatens to unravel decades of progress. Today is an important opportunity to highlight the impact that funding cuts have had on HIV prevention services all around the world. Today, we light this candle in memory of those we have lost to AIDS, to honor those working to erase the stigma, and to thank those working to make sure fewer people die every year from this disease.
Good morning. My name is Kinsey. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the Director of Religious Exploration. I would like anyone who would like the best view of the pictures to come on up and join us on the blue rug, this circle of love. We're going to sit and we're going to read a book. Here, come on up here. Okay, now I want you to tell me, has anyone ever read or seen this book? This book is called God's Holy Darkness. And God can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. And this book is going to be a little bit different. You might hear some stories that you've never heard before, and that's okay. This book is from one of our sources from the Christian tradition. So some of our UUs are Christians and some aren't, and that's okay too. So will you hold that? Thank you. So this is God's Holy Darkness by Cherie Green and Becca Selnick with beautiful, beautiful pictures by Nikki Faison. Now, darkness and blackness and night are too often compared to lightness and whiteness and day and are found deficient or not good enough. But let us name the beauty and the goodness and the holiness of darkness and blackness and night. See, some people are not a fan of darkness, but darkness can give us beautiful things, like beautiful brown and black colors on our skin and our eyes and our hair, or outer space, or under the ground when plants grow. Have you ever planted a seed? That needs darkness to grow, doesn't it? So God uses darkness and blackness and night to show love for the world. In the tradition of Christianity, stories tell us God created the whole world in darkness. So there was darkness, and then there was the whole world. The creation of this world was done in holy darkness. You see how beautiful this is? This is darkness too. So, there's a country called Egypt, and a long time ago in Egypt there were oppressed people. Stories from Christianity say that God passed over Egypt at midnight and set oppressed people free. What I like about this is sometimes I like to think about God as many, many different things. And in this, you see God sort of looks like, almost like a jellyfish. Do you see that? So there can be lots of different ways to look at God. Oh yes, show the choir. And another story says a man named Samuel heard a small voice calling to him, and it granted him wisdom, and that voice came from the dark. In the story of Christmas, which we're going to have a Christmas pageant soon, and we'll talk more about this. Christianity teaches us that angels appeared to the shepherds in the dark and told them of a baby in a manger or a little straw bed, and his name was Jesus. And Jesus is very important to the Christian tradition. And when that baby grew up, he had a community of trusted friends who trusted him too. And when they ate an important meal together, the day turned into night. Raise your hand if you've recently had an important meal where it seemed like you got to spend time with loved ones and the day turned into night. Raise your hand if you've had that. Yeah. In our world, rich black soil brings forth abundant life. Remember how I said that there are seeds underground? There are those seeds. And in the deep dark of the ocean holds more life than has ever been discovered. Ever. We don't even know what's down there, not all of it. We are reminded of the size of God's creation through the boundless, beautiful black of outer space. So many faiths believe that creation comes from a creator, sometimes called God or great mystery or spirit. This creator makes all things from love through darkness, from the dark soil to the deep, dark sea. This is a reminder of love, and these are beautiful works of God's holy darkness. The end. Now today we are going to go upstairs and we are going to do some art. Would you like to come with us? Yes? Okay, I'll meet you right back there. Yes, you can.
Okay, congregation, you are invited to join me in singing our small friends out for their religious exploration day.
As you go, may joy surround you. As you go, go in peace. Know our love is with you always. As you go, as you go.
The holiday frenzy has begun. Perhaps we cooked and overate on Thursday. Perhaps we shopped and overspent on Friday. We have crested the highest hill on the roller coaster and begun the dizzying ride through the holidays. So it is even more important that we now, with intention, periodically take time to calm our minds and bodies, a time when we can pause for contemplation. We yearn for peace and quiet. We have set aside this time to breathe together, to calm our minds, to connect to that which is larger than ourselves. Settle your body into a comfortable place. Breathe with me as we seek a new peace and understanding, and gather to do the holy work of kinship and support. Open your mind, open your hearts. God of many names and mystery beyond all our naming. This is the season of dichotomies. Advent invites us into a time of intentional waiting. The cooler weather invites us to slow down and be contemplative, to sit quietly and appreciate our friends and family. But the media incites us to hurry and shop and cook lavishly and to flaunt the happiness assigned to us by the season. This is the season of dichotomies. We begin the season by expressing gratefulness for those things that we have been given, but quickly turn to what additional possessions we might give to others or ask for ourselves. So let us return to the season of intentional waiting. In this time of waiting, may we hold the world in our hearts. In this time of waiting, may we hold each other's hands. In this time of waiting, may we be thoughtful and introspective. In this time of waiting, may we delight in the darkness and all it teaches us. In this time of waiting, may we rekindle the fires of hope, love, joy, and peace within ourselves and our communities. In this time of waiting, may we become ready for the coming day. We pray in the names of all those known and unknown, present and absent, remembered and forgotten. We pray in the names of all helpers of humankind. Amen. We pause now together to lift up that which sits heavy and light on our hearts. Larry Wadler, P.D. Wadler's father, passed away on Friday after a long illness. We send the family our condolences. Bill Nelson is experiencing some health challenges, and he and Natalie invite your good wishes. We keep Martina Staples in our thoughts as she navigates ongoing health concerns. Rosemary Loudon has moved to a retirement facility and continues to receive medical treatment. We send healing thoughts to Cheryl Rivers as she recovers from a procedure on her knee. We hold Pandora Johnson with tender care as she navigates breast cancer treatment. And we hold Letty Manzano in our hearts as her mom recovers from a health scare. We place this book in the foyer so that as you enter, you might write down not only concerns that you have or people you want us to remember in prayer, but also joyful things that have happened in your life. And this week so far, someone has written, prayers for the hundreds of people displaced and or killed in the Hong Kong apartment fires, and those displaced by the holiday weather events, the flooding, the snow, and the et cetera, et cetera. Misha Barak is a prayer in the Jewish tradition for the healing of those whose names are called out by congregants. There are similar practices in the African, indigenous, and pagan traditions. We honor these rituals by saying aloud or bringing to mind those who we wish to be held by the loving embrace of this religious community. They are part of the great cloud of witness and memory, and we will, even if we do not know their names, hold them in our hearts. In this great cloud of witness and memory, amid this beloved community, we hear these names and hold them in our hearts. Let us remember the suffering and joy amid and among our community that we do not know. It has been written, let me find peace within, so that I might be calm throughout. Let me find silence within, so that I may find compassion throughout. In the spirit of love, in the spirit of hope, and in the spirit of compassion, I invite each of you to enter into a time of silent prayer, meditation, or reflection.
In the quiet of this place, let this moment fill with grace. This is my prayer. This is my prayer. May the sense of mystery guide us through our journey. This is my prayer. This is my prayer. This is my prayer.
Each week, our morning offering is shared with an organization that shares our Unitarian Universalist values and through which we may live out our principles in the world. This week, that organization is the Leonora Montgomery Tribute Fund. 3 years ago, for Reverend Leonora's 100th birthday, and in honor of her many years of service to our church and other Unitarian churches, the Shared Offering team established a tribute fund. Rather than individuals, Shared Offering recipients are nonprofit organizations that reflect our shared values as UUs. Therefore, the Tribute Fund was set up to provide seed grants to individuals who are working on specific projects. These might include funds to begin a new initiative, an incentive to continue a worthwhile project to fruition, or used to provide a one-time grant of funds should a natural disaster threaten the project being done that aligns with our UU shared values. The Shared Offering team administers the grants to assure that funds are spent as promised, and these funds are needed so that we, as UUs, can supply an array of options that assist our developing communities, programs, and projects. Those in our sanctuary will find the instructions for text giving in the order of service next to the name of the Shared Offering recipient. And those watching in the live stream will see the instructions on your screen. Our regular Sunday morning offering collection invites us to weave a tapestry of love and action. We ask you to give generously. An offering will now be gratefully received.
dedicating this morning's offering with the words in your order of service. To the work of this church, which is weaving a tapestry of love and action, we dedicate our lives, and these are offerings.
The first reading today is an excerpt from an interview with Carrie Leibowitz. In an episode of NPR's podcast Life Kit, Carrie spoke with Mariel Segarra about how to thrive, not just survive, in winter. I have friends who know what I study. After the clocks change in November, they'll say things to me like, I'm just so tired lately. I don't know what's wrong with me. And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with you. You're a living being on a planet with a climate, you know. If you look at every living thing on Earth, plant or animal, they are all changing their behavior in winter in some way. They're migrating or hibernating, shedding their leaves, or storing up their energy for spring. Our modern societies and conveniences have convinced us that it's a personal or moral failure if we want to slow down in the winter. Here ends the first reading.
The second reading today is an excerpt from Catherine May's book, Wintering, The Power of Rest and Retreat in Difficult Times. Everybody winters at one time or another. Some winter over and over again. Wintering is a season in the cold. It is a fallow period in life when you're cut off from the world, feeling rejected, sidelined, blocked from progress, or cast into the role of an outsider. Perhaps it results from an illness or a life event such as bereavement or the birth of a child. Perhaps it comes from a humiliation or failure. Perhaps you're in a period of transition and have temporarily fallen between two worlds. Some winterings creep upon us more slowly, accompanying the protracted death of a relationship. The gradual ratcheting up of caring responsibilities as our parents age, the drip, drip, drip of lost confidence. Some are appallingly sudden, like discovering one day that your skills are considered obsolete, the company you worked for has gone bankrupt, or your partner is in love with someone new. However it arrives, wintering is usually involuntary, lonely, and deeply painful. We like to imagine that it's possible for life to be one eternal summer and that we have uniquely failed to achieve that for ourselves. We dream of an equatorial habitat, forever close to the sun, an endless, unvarying high season. But life's not like that. Emotionally, we're prone to stifling summers and low, dark winters, to sudden drops in temperature, to light and shade. Even if by some extraordinary stroke of self-control and good luck, we were able to keep control of our own health and happiness for an entire lifetime, we still couldn't avoid the winter. Our parents would age and die. Our friends would undertake minor acts of betrayal. The machinations of the world would eventually weigh against us. Somewhere along the line, we would screw up. Winter would quietly roll in. Here ends the second reading.
Please rise in body or spirit and join in singing hymn 1055 and the Teal hymnal, How Sweet the Darkness.
The song that we just sang is called How Sweet the Darkness, and it has an older sibling in our gray hymnal, number 165, which is called When Windows That Are Black and Cold. The two songs have the same lyrics, but they're set to different tunes. The lyrics are from a poem by Rachel Bates, who was an English woman who lived through both world wars. Understanding the time in which Rachel Bates wrote, you can feel the transportive nature of her words to an unsettling, grief-filled time. And yet you also can feel her holding on to hope for better days. When windows that are black and cold are lit anew with fires of gold, when dusk in quiet shall descend and darkness come once more a friend. Bates's poetry refers to the Blitz, a shuddering chapter of wartime where blackout conditions were so strict that a flickering candle in a window could attract aerial bombing. Her lyrics posit that deeply frightening, deeply unstable time against the inherent, natural, and nourishing darkness, that of gentle moon and stars. She writes from the darkness, a time of fear and unsafety, but sings for a future of innocent clouds and rain, peaceful skies, harmless air, when darkness can once more be a friend. The song that we sang today is a recomposition by Jason Shelton, who kept the original lyrics but wrote a new, more mournful tune. Jason read the original lyrics of the song just after September 11th and found new relevance to Rachel Bates's poetry. Following the September 11th attacks, us Americans, we were not blacking our windows for fear of aerial bombs dropping, but we did feel terror from the skies. We were apprehensive when passenger jets started flying again, unsure that there wouldn't be more attacks. If you look at the bottom of the hymnal, you see the name Morrow. Jason attributed this new old hymn to his friend Dorothy Morrow, who was killed in the World Trade Center that day. And when the sky is swept of wars and keeps but gentle moon and stars, that peaceful sky, that harmless air, how sweet the darkness there. Darkness can be so frightening. It can intensify our feelings of being alone or unsafe. From an evolutionary lens, nighttime anxiety can be attributed to a heightened sense of awareness that helped keep our ancestors alive, despite predators that hunted them at night. Our impeded senses in the dark make us more vulnerable, and countless stories tell us that night is when the monsters come out. Nevertheless, here we are. As Alfred Lord Tennyson is known for saying, the year is dying. Our days grow shorter, our nights longer, and the cold, even at this latitude, finally arrives. We have tended to our ancestors. We have gathered our harvest. We have given our thanks. There's nothing more to do, and there's no more time to do it. In the pagan tradition, we are now in the period between Samhain, which is the time near Halloween when we remember and commune our dead, and Imbolc, the start of spring and the return of lambing season. This is referred to as the dark half of the year. These are the times for turning inward, for slowing down, for seeking the renewal that is pushed to the wayside in times of solar-powered productivity. This is the time of darkness. The poet James Pearson says, "Now for a while, the dark stays dark. The long nights will be long, no matter how you pray for light. This God will not be rushed, but she will offer you the thick black folds of her cloak, in which you are finally free to lose everything that can no longer be kept." We expend tremendous effort to avoid or quicken or mitigate this time of darkness. Alarm clocks that imitate the sunrise to combat dark mornings, and light therapy lamps that mimic summer sun. These are helpful in maintaining emotional homeostasis. But what really are we avoiding when we turn away from the discomfort of this season? Catherine May, in her book Wintering, reminds us that winter is not only a season of the year, but an emotional season of life. These times of feeling, as she says, cut off from the world are unavoidable and lonely and not subject to our schedules. If you've ever tried to rush through heartbreak, to schedule grief, to quicken the shedding of old skin and the growing of new, you know these are acts of futility. Sometimes the most challenging thing is simply relinquishing control of when it happens, how long it takes, and what it looks like. We can control our own personal winters about as effectively as we can control a sun that sets earlier or the arrival of a cold, biting wind, which is to say, not at all. We merely equip ourselves with the gear and strategies to endure it and trust that this, like everything, will give way to something different eventually. Perhaps better, perhaps worse, but certainly different. No season lasts forever. But these times of feeling rejected or sidelined or blocked from progress or cast into the role as an outsider, these times of feeling disconnected from the warm, pulsing heartbeat of the world, these times are invitations into the soul. The saying, "dark night of the soul," originates from the writings of the 16th century Spanish mystic and Catholic poet, St. John of the Cross. In his poem called Noche Oscura, or Dark Night, he narrates the journey of the soul to the mystical union with God. And this, he says, is a multi-step process that requires one to purge most of their sensory and spiritual attachments. Now, though these days the phrase dark night of the soul is often used to describe a difficult time in life, the dark night originally represented the fact that both the path toward God and God itself is unknowable. It wasn't the inherent difficulty of the experience that made it dark, it was the unpredictability of it. Choosing to step forward despite not knowing and engaging with all the vulnerability required. In alchemy or Jungian psychology, the term nigredo is used to describe the act of breaking down or decomposing into parts. It's also considered the true and messy and necessary beginning of the work to change. Francis Weller is a psychotherapist who does much thinking and writing about matters of the soul. He has applied the idea of the nigredo to this collective moment in time, suggesting that we are all enduring a collective winter. "We have entered the nigredo," he writes. "It is a time of descent into darkness. It's that place of not knowing, the place where the old structures and beliefs have to collapse, And then we're left with this feeling of, well, what now? How do we not just fill ourselves back up with the next thing, but how do we pause and slow down and listen carefully to what wants to come in, to what the soul wants? Francis calls this the season of the long dark. We turn away from the invitation into soul work for the same reason that we avoid the frigidity of winter weather. It demands fortitude and resilience and patience that isn't required when things are warm and easy, when we feel witnessed and accompanied. But in regular cadence, whether it happens when the weather turns cold or not, we are pulled into the dark. We are drawn to the depths into our own winter, because this is where the soul lives. It's where it wants to be. And listening to the soul requires that we retreat from the waking, productive pulse of the world and drop down, away from the company of others, from the ticking of the clock, and onto the path of darkness. These seasons of winter will have us believing that we are alone and misunderstood. But this chapter of being internal separates us from the living, verdant world only momentarily. Really, enduring these seasons of darkness are some of the most alive things that we can do. A seed never buried and only exposed to the sun shrivels and never sprouts. A field that is never left fallow is depleted of nutrients and less fertile over time. A soul that never endures the darkness may never walk the illuminated path. A descent into darkness is required before union with the light. A couple years ago, I took a class in seminary called Spiritual Life Writing for Times Such as These. And in this class, I was introduced to the anchorites. These were religious hermits who withdrew from secular society to live in permanent physical enclosure for lives of prayer and contemplation. Anchorites, or as the women were called, anchoresses, were different than other hermits, as they were required to take a vow of stability of place, meaning that they were permanently enclosed in cells that were attached to churches. They were also subject to religious rites of consecration that really closely resembled funeral rites. They were essentially considered dead to the world. The waking world was forsaken for their life of solitary communion with God. In my studies, I was particularly taken by Julian of Norwich, an anchoress who was born in the late 14th century. Her writings, now known as Revelations of Divine Love, are the earliest surviving English language works attributed to a woman, and they remain seminal texts on Christian mysticism. Julian lived most of her life in permanent seclusion in her cell attached to a church. In her writings, she details how the limitations, the closeness of her physical space, created a limitlessness for her imagination. This was such a moving experience for her that she created and used a new word to describe both the enclosure that she lived in and her relationship with God. Becloseness. Becloseness was how she described the experience of being fully entombed or enclosed by something, and therefore, in this limited space, being able to experience a sense of sacredness and spaciousness that was otherwise unavailable. It was necessary for her to withdraw and enclose, to experience that sort of becloseness that she desired. She recognized, like many before and many since, that the infinite nature of the soul is, in fact, most liberated when the outside world can be muted, less available, less distracting. I think also of other soulful people who have alchemized seasons of darkness through creativity and soul work. I think of Frida Kahlo, the early 20th century Mexican artist, who through her art contributed to global conversations on feminism, sexuality, disability, and queerness. Kahlo painted and created through her recovery from a horrific bus accident, multiple bouts of infertility, a difficult marriage, many severe ongoing health problems. And she once said about her art, "My paintings carry with them a message of my pain." I think of Mary Oliver, whose poetry we often lift up in Unitarian Universalist spaces and whose words often really help us place ourselves in that interconnected web of all beings. Mary was severely abused by her father as a child and sought nature as a respite. That experience, full of grief and isolation, precipitated Mary becoming one of the most prolific and contemplative poets. In the years before she died, she began speaking more openly about her early traumatic experiences and said, "In escaping the world, I found the world. I was saved by the beauty of the world." And finally, an example from one of our own Unitarian Universalist ancestors. In the 5 years following his ordination, our forefather, Ralph Waldo Emerson, lost his first wife and 2 brothers in rapid succession. The heartache sent him into a crisis of both vocation and faith. And some think that the story of the Emerson that we know, the great American champion of self-reliance and of the soul and the spirit, that can be traced back to his times of grief. Posthumously, these are artists and thinkers that we hold in high esteem. Just last week, Frida Kahlo's 1940 self-portrait sold for $55 million, shattering the previous record for a painting by a woman. Mary Oliver and Ralph Waldo Emerson are both considered ancestors who contributed to the way that we understand our responsibilities and our belonging to the world and each other. It's easy to forget that these people lived lives full of winters, of darkness and hardship, who walked yet unlit paths of predictability. To strive, to fail, to fall, to report from the depths. Winters have created some of the most striking and critical pieces of art that act as cornerstones of our ability to make sense of the human condition. Amidst these dispatches from the darkness, it's as if a message rings through, clear as a bell. You are not alone. Others have been here. The light will return. Today, we participated in a ritual particularly close to my heart, the lighting of the Advent wreath. Some of my earliest childhood memories are that of digging my hands into the deep pile of my grandparents' carpet while staring into our lit Advent wreath. I've adapted this tradition to meet my personal theology, and I still light 4 candles on my Advent wreath. But in lieu of the Christian symbolism of hope, peace, joy, and love, I select 4 new words every year that feel important to me. This year, my words are truth, presence, love, and closeness. In the darkening weeks to come, meditating over these words will ground me and help me remember the darkness is not forever. Our closing hymn today, Stille Nacht, is yet another variation on a theme. The second and third verses, sung in English, are different than the lyrics that we're accustomed to. I remember attending Christmas Eve services, candle-lit and late in the evening, and hearing my Oma sing the song in German, her native language. She is now an ancestor, and I invite her, along with all others who have gone ahead of us, to join us as we navigate this season of blessed darkness. May their memories and their spirits guide us in this silent night. We all must, at one point or another, retreat. Whether it by our own hand or the hand of fate, the wheel of life turns, and what was once in the light falls into the shadow. The lessons of this time are many, and the gifts are many too. So remember that in the linen closet, next to your down comforter and your flannel pajamas, is medicine for the long dark. Friendship, imagination, rest, patience, and ritual, may you find these to be faithful companions. May you engage intimately with the dark when it comes, remembering the temporary nature of all things. And may the love in our hearts burn brightly until once again the light returns. May it be so.
Please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing our last hymn, hymn 252 in your gray hymnal, Stille Nacht.
Words in your order of service for extinguishing the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Now, friends, we break this sacred space. May the abundance and care that we fostered here spill out into the wider world. May you feel the strength of this community holding you throughout the week. May you carry lightly the pressures of the world and be open to the mystery of what's to come. Go in peace.
Thank you for joining us. We want to know who you are and would love to connect with you. Please fill out the link to the online attendance form, and if you are on YouTube, click like and subscribe. If you're interested in joining our congregation, email us at membership@firstuuhouston.org. Thanks so much.